booster station. When it was put in 2013, it was plumbed for 4 boosters pumps. We only put 3 in because by the time you need it, it's gonna be outdated, you have to upgrade it anyway, so we kept it out, had a pump for it, but didn't ever put the pump in there, so we did that last year. Since then, we've been running off of 1 pump, and it's been doing pretty good. Worked with McClure's on the RO plant, new well, and the raw water line, which all were awarded in December. Thank you, by the way. Had Matt Walker come out and educate us. We had some old.
See that in the picture?
Yep, we pulled some pipes out of the ground, some fittings and that, and when we did it, we saved it. So we asked Matt to come out, and since he probably put some of that in, asked him to kind of educate us a little bit. It was very educational for us. So I do appreciate him taking the time to do that. We also put on a class for beginning operators in December when the DNR came out to verify the location of well 15. She was telling me about how they would like to do a class in Northwest Iowa because they had a lot of need for that. So we worked with Iowa Water and got that all set up. And if you look on the next page with the pictures, the bottom 2 pictures are actually that.
That's at the police station?
Nope, it was in our shop.
In your shop?
Yep.
Okay.
So we set some tables up, had 41 operators there. That was a heck of a good turnout. They are usually happy to get 10 to 15.
Good.
So there was a need, and we were able to use ourselves out of it. So didn't have to travel to do it, so that was awesome. If you want to look at the pictures on the next page, the top 2 left are from the flood. Some debris come and caught that fire hydrant and caused the main to break. So that's the before picture. The second one is us actually taking that fire hydrant out and just putting a piece of pipe in there. When we did that project on 75, putting that 8-inch main in there, we relocated the fire hydrant to a different location and gave us the radius we needed for the fire protection, so we didn't need that fire hydrant down there anymore, so we took it out. The other 2 pictures on the right side of the top there is of InstaValve that we put in 2011, and the picture on the far right is a bolt that rusted out. So unfortunately, that's what we need to isolate our water mains, and that's what we had to replace. So we got that taken care of. The next row of pictures, that's actually some of the project on Highway 75 by the sewer department, bringing that across the street, not tying it in to eliminate that dead end. So, and then the back page is just work we're planning on doing this year. A big part of our work is going to be with the 3 projects we got going on, observing and just making sure it's getting done right. And then we still got our normal stuff that we do with the operating permit, and we got our flushing spring and fall. We got some, just normal stuff that we're gonna be doing, but mainly we're gonna work on just making sure they're doing their stuff right.
I'm sure I'm missing it, but how many easy valves did you do in other communities?
Oh, I did not put that one in there this year.
No, I'm not saying it, so.
I think this year we gotta be close to 30.
30?
I wanna say something like that. Yeah, sorry, I didn't get that put in
Yeah,
this year.
I'm thinking I'm missing this.
Yeah.
That's cool. 30.
Yeah.
Okay. And did we move forward with Owens? I didn't even know after.
Yeah, we're not reading the meters. We did sell them the meters, yes.
But they're doing their own readings?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Well, halfway good report.
Anybody have any other questions of Rich? Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Rich.
guys.
Appreciate it. Code enforcement.
Luke's getting up here.
Good afternoon, Council. Luke Bernhardt, Code Enforcement Building Inspector. So, on your first page is 10-year construction history for commercial and single family. This is just homes and physical buildings built commercially. So, down slightly in commercial, up a little bit in residential homes. Next page, fees, pretty much even with past years.
On construction, do you have any projections, like started discussions for projecting 25?
I have one person getting ready to build a house up in Dogwood. About it right there.
Just for now, it's-
Yeah,
okay.
about it for now. Commercially, couple things that I've heard of, nothing major. No one's committed to anything yet, so.
Okay.
Third page is total building permits and fees, 2-year comparison. Compared to 2023, department made a little bit more money than normal. We had a Overlook Edition apartments was a big permit fee that came in. Overall permits are down. I will say in 2023, I think 77 permits in 2023 for miscellaneous, which is fences. I'm pretty sure 55 of those were fence permits, so it was just an abnormally amount of fence permits. And this is the fourth page is the residential fees. Real similar, almost identical from last year. And those fees include, like fences, garages, accessory buildings, things of that nature. The fourth page is the urban revitalization tax exemption. It's down from years past, but we're also, not as many people are building as much as they were a handful of years ago. And then the last page I included that wasn't in years past was, we don't really necessarily, we track how many housing units are built in town. We just don't aggregate them in one spot. I thought this year would be a good idea to do that because with the addition, we want to track these additional housing units because it's a part of our overall development. So I thought I'd put it in a graph and show everybody. I only went back 5 years, or 4 years, excuse me, and just to give everybody kind of an idea where we're at. Obviously, this last year was Overlook Edition getting added to it, so that's 100 units out of the 122. But it still would have been 22 units, even without Overlook being added. It would have been 22 additional units added to the community. As far as building and construction, we talked about the mobile home park on Highway 3. He's looking roughly 22 units that could get added out there, but I don't know when that's going to happen. Guess it's going to be, he doesn't even know what he's doing yet necessarily, but it's going to be additional units, hopefully. So worked with Scott quite a bit on getting tree notices out to people to have their trees trimmed. It was north at 200 something addresses that got sent letters, and everybody is really good in town about doing it and trimming them up or having someone do it for them. So that's been pretty good. So 3 special assessments, people that didn't want to take care of what I asked them to take care of, basically didn't mow their lawn. So, and those have been filed with the county, so we will receive those monies the next tax cycle. So beyond that, that's about it for the year. Any questions?
For a while, the city was on a rotating schedule of sidewalk notifications for trip hazard, 3/4 inch or greater. Are we still on that schedule, or where are we at with it?
I can't say I'm on a schedule with it. When I see something or get told about it, I contact address it, yeah.
On an individual basis?
Yeah.
Which I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I am.
There's no blanket sidewalk program at the moment, so to speak. So
Is there a place online for people that see something like that to go and report it? I know we talked about that with potholes, and there's such a thing. So if people see something, they don't have to get hold of one of us or a department head. They can go online and fill out both.
I know they can email the city, and then it gets forwarded on to me. I don't think we have a specific thing for that.
Okay.
You may have been addressing this when I was using my calculator, on urban revitalization tax exemption. If I'm calculating it correctly, 200 homes since 2012 have now rotated out of that program, which means they're now paying full property taxes. I just do a thumbs up on that program working very well. I think it's a fantastic program. 'Cause I know when we first started that, there was, why are you giving breaks? Why are you giving breaks? You know, so, yeah, I'd like to see that. That's good.
Anything else?
Thanks.
Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, fire and rescue.
Afternoon, council, administration. You still have a copy of the report, the Motley Crew pictures on the front page there. We just did that, the Total Motors with the staff in early December. The next page was the current membership for 2024. Now, of course, some of that has changed. We're sitting right now about 40 members total. Next page is call totals. So total number of calls for fire rescue in 2024 was 1,948. That's up 145 calls from 2023. So things continue to go up constantly. Fires were up, and EMS runs were up, and transfers were up, and things like that. The breakdowns down below, fire loss, we try to estimate what we lose for fire damage. Now, of course, that varies on insurance companies and what they end up spending to fix, and sometimes our estimates are off a little bit, but we just shoot a dollar amount in there for our fire reports, so it gives us kind of an idea. The next page is EMS breakdown. A couple numbers that jump out at you: 415 in-town and out-of-town transfers last year. So when you think of 365 days in a year, we did 415 transfers alone. That's not 911 calls, that's strictly transfers in and out of the hospital or nursing homes and things like that. 140 second calls, meaning the first ambulance was already on a call and we got another one or a third one. So that 140 is up a lot as well. And then down at the bottom, if you just want to look at a breakdown, on average, a minute, 1 second, the ambulance is rolling down the street, and within 4 minutes, 13 seconds, we're on scene touching and treating a patient. That has substantially gotten better with the merger and the things that we've done here to provide service. And there's a couple nice graphs on fires for the years, and then city calls, rural calls, mutual aid, and investigations. Those fluctuate. And then the last page is kind of more the meat and potatoes that are the unseen things that we do. 205 inspections last year, 52 training sessions offered to our firefighters and EMS personnel, 270 meetings that we attended, 40 classes we gave to the public or businesses, and that can be anything from first aid to CPR to fire extinguisher training and that sort of thing. We trained about 444 public businesses or people in those businesses in the public. Fire prevention talk, we did 20 to the schools. We talked about 465 kids. We have a fire trailer that we do smoke training with. We put 51 firefighters through that last year. Retirements and resignations, we had 5 last year, and those are the people that retired last year with every one of them had more than 10 years of service. Some, 10, some 20, some 30. So lost a lot of experience in those 5 people, but we're still doing okay. Some of the grants we received and donations we went after are listed there. I got to give credit to my assistant chief and Steve Schwartz and Battalion Chief John McGregor in the back of the room here for writing a few of those grants. The National Fire Safety Council donation is the letter that goes out to businesses and individuals. That program continues to work. That pays for all the booklets that we give to the school kids and the stickers and that sort of thing, and that goes to about 1,500 students a year. That was funded, brought in $4,600 this year. We had a couple private donations, one towards EMS and one towards fire from individuals that one lady gave us $8,890 because we hauled her with a broken hip and we took our times over the railroad tracks, and the guys were just angels to her, she said, on the way to Sioux City. She walks in with a check for $8,890 out of her IRA account. So kudos to the staff for taking care of people. So that's what we do. Christmas Acres, of course, not so fortunate this year that it's done, but the year before we helped with that, and that brought us $9,100. And then some of the other things we do, the Florian Gala fundraiser side-by-side run on a weekend we help with. We have our pancake breakfast that we hosted for over 545 people. We do an EMS chamber coffee for EMS week in May. We have our awards banquet that 150 people attended. We participated in 6 wonderful parades. The parade capital, ice cream capital of Iowa. We have a lot of parades, but we enjoy helping with them and participating. Sent out over 6,000 fund drive letters that bring us in donations, and of course assist with ice cream days and hometown Christmas. I got to thank Assistant Chief Schwartz and Battalion Chief McGregor for helping put this together. I've been laid up for a little while, and they're making things work. I got to thank the bosses and businesses for letting their people leave for emergencies and understanding when they're up all night and come to work the next day and things like that. We got a great community and a great department and great support, and we're making things work. We're saving lives and we're getting the people quicker, and I just can't be more proud. So thank you for your support as always, and we look forward to continuing on here in the future. Questions?
Thank you, Chief. Can you, on the transfers, the 415 transfer, those are pretty good revenue source for the city?
Yeah, we budget about 650,000 roughly for income off of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it
Because those usually aren't emergent situations, right?
it varies. It
Yeah.
varies. A lot of times we'll run emergent, but some of them aren't.
Yeah.
But we bill for all of those. So yeah. Between fire revenue, mayor, and EMS revenue, we're close to $1 million a year in revenue generated. I think, Joe, we were what, 900 and some thousand we estimated this year, or something like that, 907. We're estimating for this coming year, or something like that, for revenue generated. And that's off classes we teach that we bill for, fire calls that we go to that we bill for structure fires or insurance cleanups and things, which they have in their policies. So we just collect the money. A lot of people don't, but it's in there and people have been paying for it. So. And then, of course, you have the EMS runs we bill for.
And those are like the Omaha, Sioux Falls, blah, blah, blah.
Omaha, Sioux Falls, Sioux City, Spencer, Yankton, Carroll. We got about 155, John, right? 155 mile radius that we'll run. I mean, we're not going clear to Waterloo. I don't want to have an ambulance gone for 7-8 hours, but we've set up kind of a boundary district, and where Floyd Valley normally sends people, we're trying to help them out and cover those.
What coverage outside, county coverage? How are things going with the county?
It's getting to be more and more of a burden, and we've asked the county to help support some of that now with some funding, because, you know, normally we were running 6 or 7 towns and about 200 miles of rural, and now we're running about 8 or 9 towns and 290 to 300 miles of rural to help out or be first call because they don't have anybody available. So we've asked the county to help this budget year support some of that so we can continue to do that. Otherwise, it's a lot tougher.
Yeah. What sort of reception did you get from the county supervisor?
It seems pretty positive. They get it. I don't think they want to fund an ambulance and start an ambulance service and build buildings and buy units and hire people. These littler towns, we don't want them to give it up. We want them to continue to respond we'll come help. And we have the advanced life service, Brad, so we have paramedics and things that can do things that, other towns can't. But, if we're gonna cover you, then more people have to have stake in the game, in my opinion. We don't wanna leave somebody laying in the street or in the farmyard or wherever, but it all takes funding. And, when we're running clear to Hinton and over to Remsen 7-8 times in 3 or 4 months, that makes it a little tough. And we don't want to deplete what we have here that we're covering our normal area with. So if they can step up to the plate and help fund some of that, or help fund a position or some people for staffing, that would be a good thing. And it was received, I say, fairly well.
What was your proposal for funding?
Basically, one full-time employee that the county would pay for. Basically, salary and benefits, but it would go into our budget and we'd use it for that or whatever we want, but that would be to start. We've also talked.
Which is what, 100 grand?
About 85.5, somewhere in there for a brand new employee. And then we've also had some discussion with Dustin at the hospital about them having a little more stake in the game for us to do these transfers for them, because they don't want to buy an ambulance at Floyd Valley or hire people either. And we do all their transfers, or 99% of them. So, and he was very receptive as well. Anything else?
Any other questions, Chief? Thank you very much.
I have some health issues, so I'm gonna be hit and miss for a while coming up here. But I got a couple of good guys in the back and a real good group that are taking care of business and things, and so I feel confident that things will get handled. Okay? Just
Take
keep
time
you
and
posted.
Focus on yourself.
Yeah, we'll get there. Thanks.
Jason,
I have nothing to add.
Joe?
Started the budget process, I guess. Met with department heads last week, and so kind of got their ideas. We'll get formulated, put into a plan, and then sent back out to them for review, and then we'll get our meetings set up for committee.
February?
Yeah.
Things going well?
Yeah.
Good.
Mark?
I'm good.
I'm good. Don't have anything, Clark?
Going